Greetings, I am Darkling and this is Ark Survival Evolved. Today I won't be on my dedicated session doing tutorials, today we'll be on site. I'm going to be on the Ragnarok map building a Wyvern Trap for the new Terra Nova server group. So this will be a community build, all the resources are already over there, all legitly put into place. I won't be spawning them in for this project being a community build. The Wyvern Trap is going to be a bit of a variant on something I've already done before, but it's going to look completely different than anything I've created thus far. So stick around and hopefully you'll enjoy the build. So as you can see out the front there, that is the Wyvern Trap that we're going to be replacing today. I've already put a blast shield and the start of the foundations in for the actual trap itself. This is so that I can get the alignment right. I will have to get the admin to remove the existing Wyvern Trap, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Right now I'm just pondering over how I'm going to actually build this. There are a few things with it that I have to accommodate that I originally didn't plan to actually have to deal with. So on we go, we're going to get stuck in and hopefully it'll turn out for the best. It's funny how often I go into a build not really knowing what I'm doing. Okay, so in the front here I'm going to put 3 glass walls and then 3 glass walls on top. Nice and simple. I didn't remember the other walls, that's a problem. Top of here I'm going to put the sloped tri-roofs. Better if it was snap right. Oh, okay, looks like we're going to have to snap to an opposite. No, it doesn't seem like it's an easy snap to the opposite. Okay, that worked. I'm just going to need to grab some metal walls just to tie that side piece in. Okay, so snap those on the side, snap on the other side. I'm going to use straight metal ones on the outside, which are both going to snap in the wrong place. Excellent. Okay, excellent. That's much better. I'm just going to model these while I'm at it. Now I did do a bit of a test on this and it actually ran into a problem that I'm going to have to overcome on this particular version. I was going to go into this pretty blind anyway. The hiccup that I had was I found that a Wyvern can fit through a space 4 high and 3 wide, which is perfect because a XL hatch frame fits those requirements. However, unless you remember to add a slope on both sides, apparently it doesn't fit. Now, probably didn't explain that very well. I tried to run put it in a 4 high tunnel, and when I placed it down, while a Wyvern would technically fit, it wouldn't fit through it because it needed to be slightly higher on the back end and slightly lower on the front end. So I'm going to have to accommodate for that, which should make this pretty interesting. Whoops. Put it down and then punch it, it's always a good way to go. So this is a little blast shield, so when you get your wyvern in the trap you've got somewhere to hide behind. Now I'm going to actually bring this out a little bit further than I originally planned, just to help accommodate for the size change I'm going to need to make. I'm going to carry as many of these as I can. Oops, I can drop off all the extra stuff as well. Now I don't normally play this particular server. I am part of the server group, but I've only been on here a couple of times just to help out with some building. So my levels of my character are pretty low, so my carry weight is pretty ridiculous at the moment. I'm so used to having around 600 weight. This is going to be an interesting process. So I'm going to go out about 6 foundations, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I love it when everything snaps exactly where I want it. I'm sure where some of these are actually snapping. Okay, that is really annoying. How many can I pick up shooting underground? 3. Okay. Okay, so that's good for the initial part. So I'm going to put some large gates on here. Start getting the shape going. Plenty of gates. I have to stick some ramps on the front of this so I can get up there. Why did that not snap? There we go. Now I'm putting these in because I want the space nice and large to shoot through. Could use stone hatch frames. My mind's in another place while I'm puzzling over one of the problems of this build. I could use door frames like I normally would with a taming pen, but I want to make sure that the space is a nice large area so that people who are inexperienced have more of a chance of actually firing through the gap. We don't have anybody with that level of experience at the moment, but you never know when someone like that could join. So from here I'm going to have to actually step the foundation up a little bit, I think. Actually no, I'm going to carry the foundation out. So, we're going to need some more. Now when I'm building like this, things will change on the fly. I might end up pulling some of it down just to make sure it's going to work the way I want it to. This is one of the reasons why everybody wants me to do my building start to finish, so it's not just a matter of montage, this is what it looks like, montage, this is a finished product, because there's a lot of things going on that you tend to miss with the montages. So I've got 4 space here. Now that will accommodate the behemoth hatch. Now from here what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out 1 further and then stack it. I'd rather not be doing it like this, but I don't think I'm really going to have a choice. Oops, I'm not going to have enough foundations. What I'll do is I'll grab a load of ramps. Sorry about that. Looks like it glitched out a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to grab a whole stack of ramps. I'm also going to use one here on the way past. And then ramp up to this. Oh, excellent. Okay. So the method I'm going to use is drop these in here. Now I might have to do a bit of a test to make sure this fits through. I do have a wyvern over there. That's actually a cheeky wyvern, it's not a legit. I spawned it in when I went and visited a friend's server who runs ridiculously high levels of dinos, and I didn't have anything that would survive the trip, and I was just going on to do a bit of a tour of one of the bases on there, so I needed something that I could fly in on and not have to worry about dying on the process. I've had it in the obelisk for a while, so it should work quite well for this project. I'm going to grab a couple of those just for the blast shield. I want to tie that in a little bit nicer. I'm going to want some more foundations. Definitely want the hatch frame. Okay. And I think it's too many. It looks like I can carry that many. It might be a tad on the slow side, but okay, that works. Now I could be using the wyvern for this, but like I said, it is a cheaty wyvern. I'm playing on a legit server. It can just act as the size, a measurement for the size that I need. So I'm going to put a line of foundations out from here. Another one, whoops. I'm not 100% sure how I'm doing the funnel on this yet. I've puzzled over a few ideas. I think it's going to be a matter of get there and have a look at it and see what angles I want to work with. So what I want to do is I want to snap it to the top of there. Excellent. So I've got a bit of a slope down on that side, and I will have a bit of a slope down at the top over there. Hopefully that's enough of a space to work with. We will find out. I'm going to put large walls along the side here. Looks like I'm out of those already. Doesn't take long. What can I snap that, I wonder? I love these hatch frames. They're fantastic for pretty much all the work I do. There's just a few things that you've really got to finagle to get to work just the way you want them to. Okay, so I can't snap directly, so I'm just going to grab a few more bits. Need some more walls, both sizes I believe. And how many of those am I going to carry? Not as many as I think I'd like, but we'll work with what we've got. Gonna take a bit of getting used to working with such a light carry weight. Okay. Now I think I will leave this area flat. That's going to work okay. I am going to need to bring possibly another section up on top here. Yeah, okay, so that's going to need these walls. Now, sorry if I'm not talking as much on this one, I'm thinking a little bit harder than I normally would, just because in the initial, I did a quick rundown before I did this project of what I thought I needed, and I ran into a little bit of a hassle, but I didn't want to run through and fix all the problems without actually doing the recording side of it, seeing as that's what everybody wants to see. So I'm puzzling over a few of the bits as I go. Yeah, I'm definitely going to need that spot filled in. Okay, so I'll need to get some more large more walls. Not so much the large ones, but the regular. Start out with just the walls. Now, hopefully I'm not sounding a bit too drowsy. It is about 3 in the morning at the moment. I think I might also be talking a little bit quieter just because of that as well, so my apologies if I am. Okay. I wonder how many times I'll die during this project. I really hope I don't. I don't have a bed in this spot, so that could be problematic for me. Okay, I'm going to need... Okay. I'll grab some ceilings and probably some more ramps. Now, this is on a legit server, so you won't see me spawning anything in. This is all stuff that's legitimately made. I did bring a lot of this over from other servers that we have in the group, and from one of my build servers. Sorry, I'm trying to think of what I need at the same time as I'm doing this. So because it's an actual legit server, I'll do this all legitly. I'm happy to spawn stuff in on single player, but this isn't my, I don't own this server, so I'm not gonna mess with their legitness. Not even sure that's a word, but it will be from today. Why can't I get past that spot? Okay, I'm not sure what was blocking me there. Okay, so I'm going to need that. Did I forget to bring the ramps? No, I did remember those. Excellent. So I'm going to place those ceilings across there. And they're going to be the anchors for that ceiling. Sorry, that ramp. Okay, so we now have a step down into the main catch area. So I made this as small as I possibly could. The wyverns will fit into a space. I might need to change that. I don't have any sloped pieces on me. I'll blend it with some other pieces maybe. Might have to come back and... oh, apparently you can't stand on the top of those. Might have to come back with some sloped walls. I didn't think to add those into the parts that I brought. But no matter. Okay. That's great, I completely forgot what I needed. Actually, I think what I'll do is test to make sure the wyvern can fit into it. I'm going to stay on the ground just because it's a lot easier to steer them. And as you can see, the Wyvern goes in there quite nicely. Okay. And I can't fly through those. So from here I'm going to need to place some more ceilings across the rest of the gap. I'll drop the ramps and grab a stack of ceilings. Now I'm not sure I'm going to have a space to be able to place those. I'm not sure I've actually made the snap point that I need. Okay, normally I run up the side of these without any issue, so there must be something with the metal ones. Yeah, okay, so that's not going to work. Now, the question is, can I snap to the top? I can. I didn't actually realise you could snap to those, that's really handy. Now, I'm going to need to remove that one. Yep, okay. That will work. So, like I said, this is a legit server, so you won't be seeing me using the ghost or the fly command, which definitely slows things down a little bit. Okay, that should work nicely. I'll just need to put another ramp to close that gap in, and this area should be perfect. Now I need to get onto the roof, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make myself a ramp. I'll eat so my character shuts up a bit. Sorry, I tend to ignore when he's actually hungry, so I hope he wasn't annoying you. I was kind of just tuning him out while I was working those details out. I think I might put the ramp here. That works for me, excellent. Okay, so I'm going to need a couple of ramps. I'll lose that top piece so it's not sticking out. Okay. That was a silly thing to do. What on earth did that icon? Not what I'm used to. Okay, so grab some of those. I'll grab some triangle foundations because I'll need those before long. Okay, that blended quite nicely. I might need to go down from the bottom via the ramp so I don't kill myself, seeing as I'm pretty close to doing that already. Now I'm trying to think of how I'm going to slope the funnel from here. So what I'm wondering is whether or not I'm going to switch straight to triangles and do this whole section here and try and then taper it. Don't think that's going to work. I think I'm going to have the square section and then try on the sides. I think that's going to be the best way to go. It's going to change the angle of the funnel just a little bit, but I think it should work okay. Well, why not? There you go. Nope. To keep an eye on that Titan bar, I don't have anything on me to defend myself. I'm going to drop these off for the time being and grab as many of the tri foundations as I can. Okay, that's more than enough. So I will grab 2 of those, and I want some ramps again. Stick with just 5 of them. Now I don't want to use the Wyvern if I can help it, but if that snake gets too close I might have to. Seeing as I don't have any weapons on me at all. The only times, like I said, I've been on here are for build related problems. I'm going to run a line of walls along here, and then I'm going to place a ramp, and I forgot the ceilings. That doesn't help. But in the meantime I'll put the triangle foundations down. So I'm going to go out by 1, 2, 3, 4 should probably do it. We need to stack foundations on this side. Come on. That's 1, 2. That didn't help. 3 and 4. No. Yes. Okay, so now I just need to fill in some space. I'll need to keep this nice and clear in case anybody needs to land on it. Can't imagine they would, but you never know. Well, that was a really good snap, wasn't it? I don't know if it's because I'm tired or if the snaps are just being that problematic today. I think that's a pretty good area. It's probably a little bit too big, to be honest. I need to go out with that and then I went across. Okay, that's perfect. I'm going to have to be snapping a few scaffold pieces into place for this project. Not a major though. Should be okay. I'm going through things in my head. I don't vocalize everything that's going on, so it's probably a pretty weak one-sided conversation going on at the moment. Okay, so I'll start the funnel section in the middle. Thankfully we can at least run up here now. And I'll add the starting line. Now I need to see if this is actually going to remain in place. Doesn't. No, that's perfect. Excellent. Sometimes you need to do a little bit of funky snapping. So does that mean I can actually place this? Oh, you beauty. Okay, so I can get away with a few things here. So I need to think this through so that, because I can't ghost through things, I need to make sure snaps are going to sit where I want them to while I piece them together and still be able to stand on the sections I need to change. If I filled all this in and then was trying to snap underneath, I wouldn't be able to see where it's placing or anything like that. So now I should be able to, in theory. Why are you not? There we go. Be able to extend that ramp upwards. I could make this out of glass. I did consider bringing glass over, but I thought metal would be a nice solid looking structure. Yeah, that should be fine. I think once it's got some sloped walls in there, it'll look even better. I might actually do those after the project is finished. Thankfully the water is not far from here. If it was any further I'd do a cut, but I don't think it's really worth it. No land. Oh yes, you're so hard done by. I think there should be different levels of him moaning. I think it should start out with him just going, oh I'm thirsty, oh I'm hungry. Not suddenly have absolute hunger pains. Okay, so where was I up to? I had to add the sides on. I could have loaded all this into the Wyvern and made it closer, but like I said, I'm trying not to use the Wyvern too much. I mean, I did just make a run down to the water with him, but I don't have any other way of getting down there and surviving. Yeah, I'm probably going to need to stick a wall on top of those. Yes, I am. I think I probably would have preferred it if it was a little bit harsher an angle, but I think that's going to work just fine. I'm going to need another 4 large and 8 regular. That's 7 regular. Man, it takes a long time to run backwards and forwards. This character hasn't had any speed leveled on him yet. I can lose a few of these extra bits and pieces I'm carrying at the moment. How many did I say I needed? 4 of those and 8 regular, I believe it was. And I can get the start of those before I'm too heavy. Okay, so as you can see, it gets a little bit harder to reach some of the spots. I could be doing this from below, but I want to be able to access this sooner. What I'm going to do is fill in this spot, and then I can actually walk across it. Fill in the rest of the walls. Out of those ones, it's fine. All good. Looks like that snake's still way over there. That's excellent. Don't have to deal with them. Now in theory I could bring that in another tile and actually cut it off across the right angle, well, right angle from the main structure, but I think it would be fine like that. In fact, I think 4 above there, I think that's going to be excellent as well. So from here I'm going to need more tri-roofs. Should do that. I'll grab some more ramps while I'm here. I think 5 should do it. Grab some extra off the roofs just in case. I'm actually quite enjoying the process of doing these builds. I don't sound thoroughly excited probably. It's a different kind of excitement. I enjoy the process of trying to piece these together, and then when I finally do get it right in the end, it's just that much more satisfying to know that it all came together. Now, why does that feel like it's wrong? It's because those aren't meant to be on there. Now, what I'm doing is I'm trying to get the cursor roughly so the center of the screen is in the middle of the gap between the 2 tri-roofs. Oh, that's why it's not working. Wrong piece. Okay, I don't know why it snapped there first, but that's fine. Now that these are all in place, the rest of building this up will actually be a lot easier. These things snap quite a lot more freely from here. Now you will note there's gaps here. These tri-roofs do snap a little bit funny. You're just going to have to let it go. You can't get them perfect every time. It would be nice if you could, but the way they're set up, it's almost perfect, but there's some slight calculations off. As much as it would be nice if they were fixed, I really don't want to see the repercussions of if they were fixed. I don't know if anybody remembers when the tri-ceilings got fixed so that they worked properly. It was amazing. It was really great that they got fixed and they looked great, but any triangle ceiling that had been placed beforehand was suddenly snapped in a completely different spot, and you had to go through and completely replace all of the all of the try that you've already had built, and I have so many worlds of building that I would not want to have to go through that again. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Oop. I'm gonna jump off there. I'm gonna kill this on the way past. And then check the funnel to make sure it's a good size and see if I need to make any changes to it. So that's a pretty good size. I can see now that I've got a couple of stray snaps here. Now I could stick another bit of funnel attached onto here by snapping a square. I wonder if I should. To be honest, I think they'll actually do quite nicely. So I'll just snap the glass gate into place, but before I do so, just make sure this still fits in here. And I'll obviously need to make sure that he still fits in. Come on then. I managed to get lodged in my own wyvern. I'll just need to make sure he still fits through the gate with the actual gate itself in place. It wouldn't be the first time that I'd built something and it worked perfectly fine, and then when I actually added the gateway itself, it changed the size. Just a manual. No, I don't want it to open upwards, I want it to open downwards. I don't think it will open downwards. I don't think I really have much of a choice there unless I go automatic. No, come on. Switch to manual. Now the question is, how much warning am I going to get if they do come for me? Ooh, none at all. No, I'm probably not even going to make the pen. Oh, you did come in. Okay, so as you can see, it does make it into the pen quite nicely. Probably not the best way to do it. A flyer would be much better, but as you can see, it is possible. As you can see, this is the completed pen. It tapers up a couple of times. I haven't filled in the sloped wall sections, but that's not an important matter. This bird is a bit fast for this job. So everything's going to come in and slide nicely into that gullet, and it's going to be a nicely accessible back for the players to fire through. I'm going to have to remove this gate, which I completely forgot to do. But I think it came out pretty good. I didn't taper it quite like I have on some of the other Wyvern traps I've done in the past, but I think this is actually probably one of the better Wyvern traps I've made. It's not huge. The last one I made was built around a behemoth gate, so the actual structure itself was absolutely massive, which isn't always the best thing, but it's definitely cut it down quite a lot. So I hope you really like this. If you did like the video, make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe for other videos, and hopefully I'll see you again. Take care and enjoy your building.